Thank you so much for joining me today for your news report. Today I have 5 stories for you. The first story is gasoline prices. They are at record high levels. They're expected to go up another 50 cents this summer. Senator Joe Manchin says the government's top priority is Ukraine. Manchin says that we're going to get to domestic policy after we finish helping out Ukraine. 3. The Senate, they just passed the $40 billion of funding for Ukraine. This is on top of the $12 billion that America just gave them. Ukraine, they have a population of 44 million people. So if you break it down, that's just under $1,200. For each Ukrainian, there's probably going to be more to come. So we have a shortage of baby formula. President Biden has now invoked the Defense Production Act to ramp up production. 5. In America, cases of COVID-19, they're back on the rise. Cases up to 50% from 2 weeks ago. We're reporting 96,000 new cases a day. We're gonna get started with gasoline prices. According to AAA, the average price of gasoline is now above $4 a gallon in every state. So this has never happened before. So this is the first store-making story. The national average price of gasoline is now $4.59 a gallon. The average price in California is now above $6 a gallon, and prices are expected to continue climbing this summer. Tom Closer, the head of global energy at OPEC, is expecting gasoline prices to rise another 50 cents. Jardine Research, they pointed out that last year the average American household was paying $2,800 a year in gasoline costs. That's now going to increase $5,000. So ultimately, gasoline prices, they are at record levels, so there's no relief in sight. Things are actually expected to get worse. But I just want to warn you, believe it or not, things can get dramatically worse. If some hurricanes knocked out some of our refineries, and we're going to be in for a world of hurricane season. It starts in June, and it's going to last until November. Patrick DeHaan body said there's a little, if any, good news about fuel prices heading into this summer. And the problem could be worse if we see an above-average hurricane season. So with our string of bad luck, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Obviously, we don't need any problems, but I'm just giving you a heads up. In political news, Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, he came forward and said helping Ukraine win the war against Russia is our top priority. Manchin said that we should be doing everything we can to make sure that Ukraine can secure their country, and then we should be all gathering together to help rebuild. So basically, the politicians, they're going to take care of domestic policy after Ukraine. This is because, as most of you already know, the Democrats, they cannot accomplish anything without the votes of Democratic Senator Joe Manchin. That's because without Manchin votes, the Democrats, they have 49 votes, and you're going to need a minimum of 50 in the Senate to pass anything. Senator Joe Manchin says that he is open to passing another bill. Manchin says that he wants a bill that's going to raise taxes on the rich and raise taxes on the corporations, reduce government debts, bring down the price of prescription drugs, and invest in American energy. Senator Joe Manchin has been in talks with the leader of Democrats in the Senate, Chuck Schumer. So these two, they've gotten together twice in the past 3 weeks to advance the negotiations. Manchin says that he wants his demands to be the centerpiece of the new bill. Senator Schumer said that we're making some progress. I'm feeling decent. However, other Democrats, they are saying that they are not feeling so confident that the negotiations are going so well. But Democrats, they're pointing out that Manchin, he hasn't even come up with a formula proposal. He hasn't come up with a formula bill. He hasn't even written anything down. Even the media, they are doubting that something is going to happen at least anytime soon. So before reporters, they used to wait outside Manchin's office hoping to catch them for any update or any progress on the negotiations. Now all the reporters have disappeared. They don't even bother anymore because they know that there's no progress on any kind of bill. Later, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren said, "I'm worried that we don't deliver for the American people. It makes no sense not to have a deal." Democratic Senator Tim Kaine said, it would be professional malpractice for a Democratic majority to miss an opportunity. We ought to get locked into a room until we can have all 50 in agreement. And I just want to remind people that if the Democrats, if they want to pass a bill, then they're going to have to get it done by October 1st. If they can't get it done by that time, then it's going to take 60 votes in the Senate to pass the bill rather than the current 50. So obviously, if the Democrats cannot pass a bill that needs 50 votes, and how are they going to pass a bill that's going to require 60 votes? In international news, the Senate voted on Thursday to give Ukraine another $40 billion. The vote was at 6-11. The money is going to be spent on military equipment and humanitarian aid to fund the Ukrainian government and health services in Ukrainian refugees. There was some pushback for some of the Republican senators. They said that $40 billion is too much money, and they said that Europe is not contributing enough. But Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Republicans in the Senate, he said anyone concerned about the cost of supporting the Ukrainian victory should consider the much larger cost if Ukraine was to lose. In current events, let's talk about the baby formula shortage situation. Americans produce 98% of the baby formula that American parents purchase Abbott Laboratories. They make about 43% of that. Abbott temporarily closed down their facility in Michigan because of the bacterial contamination. They recalled part of their formula products, and there's currently a shortage. Abbott said it's going to take about 2 more weeks to reopen the facility and another 8 weeks for the products to make its way onto store shelves. President Biden has now invoked the Defense Production Act to make more baby formula. Now I want to give you a status update of the COVID-19 situation here in America. Case counts, they're going up. Our 7-day rolling average is 94,000 cases a day. This is up about 50% in the past 2 weeks, and we're up 400% from our lows in March. Half of the cases are coming from the Omicron BA.2.1 strain, and the other half is coming from the BA.2 strain. The only state where cases of COVID-19 are dropping over the past 2 weeks is Maine. The states with the biggest increases are Delaware, Hawaii, Michigan, and New Jersey. Although cases have been rising, hospitalized patients they are still near record lows, and fatalities have been decreasing. Hospitalization is nearly 19,000 a day. This is far below our peak when we were recording 150,000 a day, which was happening back in January. Fatalities are at 299 a day, which is down from 341 weeks ago. Many cities they are asking their residents to remain cautious. Chicago, LA, and New York, they're encouraging people to wear face masks. The CDC is still recommending that people wear masks on public transportation and on airplanes. None of these are requirements, just suggestions. That's us for today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Thank you so much for all the support.